All right, welcome everybody. Let me know if you are able to. All right, we already have almost 100 people live. This is Ari Sherbel. I would love to hear from you guys. First of all, if you can hear me, and would love to hear from you where you're calling in from in the chat. We already got over 100 people here, which is fantastic. Let me know if you guys. All right, Calgary, Rich, what's up, Rich from India? David, can hear you fine from Scotland. Thank you, guys. One of the most fun parts about doing these live master classes and webinars is having the tribe from all over the world in. So I love that you guys are sharing. This is so much fun. James Staten, what's up, man, from Toronto? Yeah, all right. Things are starting off. So listen, we're going to get started, and here's how we're going to run the questions. Hold on 1 second. I can hear, so any of the other hosts, so either Jan or make sure to just mute yourself so there's not too much sound coming in. Rich from Indiana. Yes, not India. Got that. All right, we're about to get started. Just want to make sure. Yeah, okay, I think we're good on the sound. All right, we're going to get started. So I'm going to turn my camera off. Great to see so many friendly almost faces. And we're going to get to it. Hold your questions for the end. I'm not going to get to the questions until the very end when we do the Q&A. And then, but I will be paying attention to what you guys are saying in the comments. So I'm going to turn the camera off and wait 1 second. All right. Yeah, who's got their audio on? Let's see. We're almost all right, we're just going to get started. And if there's anyone who has their sound on, please mute yourself. And we're just going to get started. The dogs are going crazy, says Brent. All right, fantastic. Let's just get this thing started. Just click into share mode. 1 second. Okay, stop video. And here we go. All right, guys. So welcome to today's big, exciting training. We have over 560 registrants, which is incredible because we only announced this a few days. And this is what we're going to be covering: the 3 forgotten steps for local IT service providers and MSPs to attract ideal clients, earn more, and actually work less in the next 28 days. My name is Ari Sherbel. I'm the lead evangelist at Atera, and over the next 45 to 60 minutes, I'm going to teach you this strategy by showing you a proven education-based marketing system that works, and it will delight you in its simplicity to help solve 2 big problems from the IT and MSP tribe and world. The first problem is that you're working way too hard. Now, I'm all for working hard and putting your best foot forward, but there's another thing with being overwhelmed when you have no time for yourself, you have priorities you never get to, you're overbooked, undervalued, and possibly even underpaid. Problem number 2 that we're going to help solve is that you have no system. So the thing with not having a system is that ideal clients do not come, and if they do come, they're coming haphazardly. There's no clear picture of how to grow your revenue or how to attract ideal clients. So you're working too hard, you have no system, and here's what we're going to solve. Solution number 1 is your work on your terms, not being reactive but proactive, where you get it all done with time for yourself. That's what this training is all about, where you achieve your top priorities. And by you achieving your top priorities, it is actually not going to happen by how you think it will. Which we're going to cover in a few minutes. And your work on your terms means you will be booked solid with ideal clients who pay you what you want, what you decide. And the second solution is that a system means a well-oiled machine, means consistency. You attract only clients you want to work with who chase you. That's the strategy we're going to cover. Also, you have a clear map of your revenue streams, and you leverage this repeatable system as a rinse and repeat model. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of IT professionals, service providers, and MSPs end up getting into these problems is because you got started as someone who can literally help people, and you grew your business because you're so good at it, but you never learned these strategies and systems, and this is what this training is all about. It's for you. So let's do a little bit of a introduction. If you're not familiar with Atera, Atera is known as the ultimate all-in-one RMM, remote monitoring and management for IT service providers, MSPs, and IT departments to simplify their work. I am seeing some things. I got some questions. So my name is Ari, and it's from this company, Atera, this amazing, amazing all-in-one RMM and PSA platform, which you'll hear about as per context later in the training, so to help you literally use all these strategies to put them to use. In terms of my level of credibility of even sharing any of this information with you is that Fortune 500 companies, from Google to Facebook to Chevy, GM, Starbucks, Ivy League universities like Harvard and Princeton and Johns Hopkins, government offices from literally all over the world, NASA, and over 80,000 small business owners have attended my trainings in the last 4 years alone, which is actually pretty cool and a lot of fun, giving them the same kind of training that I'm giving you today. IT services in 56 countries, it might even be more at this point, across 5 continents, speaking 21 different languages, all rely on Atera to run their IT business, which is incredible because we're not even that old, and we've hit the market in a really, really strong way, and we're only getting started. Now, in terms of context for this training, we polled 425 MSPs, more of them actually, but it's around 425, and we asked them, which of the following topics do you most want to learn about? And here's what we got back. Now, here's what we asked them. How to attract clients, got way over 50%, how to get more done while working less, how to increase your monthly revenue, how to create more effective presentations, and how to attract better clients. There was a lot of interest from all of this. Now, to get more specific, we asked, what's your single biggest challenge trying to grow or improve your business right now? And look at these answers. Now, I'd love to hear in the comments. Please let me know in the comments if this sounds familiar, or maybe even you sent this in. Challenges: getting more clients, particularly through advertising, obtaining leads, growing our customer base, getting my name out there, new client acquisition, marketing materials. Arglis Penna, I hope I said your name correctly. You said lead generation, correct? Look at all these things that come in. I didn't even put in all of them. I don't have enough screens to give all of the amazing answers that all of you said. Rich Lusk says yes to all. Rich, you're awesome. Clients are still slow to adopt a managed environment for us, so selling ideas are helpful. Marketing the worth of managed services. These are all challenges that you have told me and our company, Atera, what you're struggling with, and that is Simon saying all the above. You rock, Simon. Those are holding back most of us. Wow, Daniel Curry, thanks. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the comments. So this training is going to solve all this. Now, you're going to discover the big opportunity, why the IT service market is one of the fastest growing markets today. It's actually surprising, but really once you understand it, it makes complete sense. How to attract 22 times more leads from your potential audience with an ST. We'll cover that in a few minutes. How to get clients to chase you by using the Formula 8. I've been getting a lot of emails from you awesome MSP IT people who have been telling me that the getting clients to chase you is highly attractive to learn how to do that. I'm doing a teardown where you're going to see 3 top-ranking IT websites and 5 IT marketing messages analyzed right in front of your eyes. You're also going to learn why you only need 1 marketing asset to attract new clients consistently. And here's the big hint: you don't even need a website. This is holding a lot of people back. We're going to help you with that. You're also going to discover how to be seen as proactive by our clients before they even become clients. 10 ways IT service providers leverage RMMs, remote monitoring and management platforms, to grow their business. And all the way at the end is a Q&A. We got a lot to cover. Make sure you have your PDF worksheet or any kind of way to take notes, because I'm going to go a little bit fast. It's in my nature, and there's a lot to cover. So here is what we're going to be telling this for. Who is this for? Is this for me? How do you know? Well, this is for you if you want to grow your business or streamline and systematize your processes. Yes, Andrew, it will be posted as a video later. but we want to condense so you get the most out of it during the live training. This is for you if you're an IT service provider or you're an MSP who want a step-by-step plan and a system how to attract clients consistently. MSPs, if you're an MSP who's interested in learning a new growth model that can help optimize your clients, your structure of your service or your offer, your revenue, and your time. If any or all of the above is relevant for you, then you're in the right place, because maybe you have noticed. Check this out from Google Trends. If you look at Google Trends, now Google Trends means what the world is looking for from managed service provider, IT help desk, IT services, IT manager, MSPs, IT company, managed IT services, IT solutions. Look at IT services on the rise consistently over the past 7 years. Look at managed service provider. Literally interest tripled since 2011. IT help desk almost doubled in 7 years. Look at all those trends. So you're an IT services on the rise and always will be for one reason, because tech support says the problem is located somewhere between the keyboard and my chair. That's a funny joke because the tech support sees the problem is in your brain. Humans need help with their tech no matter how high tech the tech becomes. As long as human beings have tech, and we're only evolving more and more into a complete society that is fully integrated with technology, they're gonna need help. And you are this person who can help them with. Now look at the self-managed service market from IT cloud computing, IT infrastructure, and managed IT security. This is source from Statista. In the billions in 2018, the managed service market reached almost $170 billion. By 2019, it passed that. Over the next 4 years, we're going to reach over 270. And by 2024, almost, look at this, forecasts suggest that this market will grow to nearly $300 billion as early as 2023, which is 3 years away, at a 10.8% compound annual growth rate. Compound means exponential growth. Look at that from in over 6 years, from 2018 to 2024. That is a lot of growth. Right? That is a massive amount of growth. This is your big opportunity. Why? Because offices equal computer. Computers equal the cloud. We are living in a digital environment where cybersecurity, as an example, is more urgent than organizations realize. And the MSP model has already been widely adopted. This means you are in the, if you're an IT service provider, if you're an MSP, you are in a fast-growing market, and this is a big opportunity for you because every business and organization on earth needs an IT service today. Every single one that's already leveraging one is growing because of it. You are the unsung heroes. You are the foundation of every single business and organization. It is time to meet the demand in a way that works for you. I've spoken with a lot of IT professionals, a lot of MSPs in our tribe over the past few months since joining Atera, and one thing is clear: you guys are working extremely hard. So we want to help you work the hours that you choose in a way that works for you, because Atera's mission is to make IT what IT should be, which is to make your life easier so you can focus on what you want. You want to grow, you want to work more, you want to work less, you want to earn X amount more. We're going to help you do that. That's what we are all about. Let me know in the comments if you're up for the opportunity. If you guys are excited for this opportunity, if you're excited to learn these things, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. Yeah, Rich Lusk, you are such a rock star, man. You are just rocking it. Yes, thank you guys. Sounds like a good plan. Simon Lewis, and please, sounds great. Thank you, Mike. Carrie and Rosa and everybody who's raising a hand. I hope Dragos, you're able to answer those in the Q&A. Everybody else who's raising a hand, there's a lot of hands being raised. I hope Dragos is able to answer live. We are getting a tremendous amount of of encouragement and engagement here. You guys are absolutely rocking. What's up, Scott Hoffman? So here we go. So here are two sides of the IT brain. So by the way, just to emphasize, I'm not going to be answering any questions yet because I need to go through the content. I will be covering the questions at the end, but there is Dragos who is able to answer through that. So Dragos, I hope that's working for you. Now there are two sides. Dragos from the support team, who's a genius. Two sides of the IT brain. Also Jan, who is the Senior VP of Customer Success, is also on with us, and he's also going to be sharing with us later on in the program about Atera. Let's get back to it. Here are the two sides of the IT brain. Alexander Boyd, you are ready to learn, and we're excited to share this with you. So the first side is the tactical brain, where you focus on the details. You're doing daily activities and tactics to run the operation. You're strong on action. You might be a little bit weak on vision and strategy. Now, the other side of the brain is the strategist, right? Where you're a visionary, but you're not into focusing on all the details. You're strong on vision and strategy, but might be a little bit weak on process and execution. Whereas there's a synthesis, there's a middle ground, what I call the IT-preneur, who, according to this terminology, effectively implements strategies that scale the business without being the center of it. Now, I don't mean to be a billion-dollar business or even a million-dollar business if you don't need to be or want to be. A lot of MSPs and IT pros that I've spoken with don't really want to grow too much. They just want to make a good living, support their family, and give incredible service to their family and to their clients without overworking it. However, you can do that in such a way where you're not overworked, where it's working with and without you. And that is through the 3 steps, which we're going to cover today, because the 3 steps mean that you're going to be an IT-preneur with freedom. These strategies have worked over and over and over again. And here is what we're going to be covering: TC, EDM, and the winning structure. I'm intentionally using acronyms because they generate curiosity. So what's the first one? TC means, step number 1 is tribe-centric. Here's what I mean by tribe-centric. There are 3 pillars of tribe, which is to focus on your tribe, focus on your client, your market, not in a general way, but in a specific way. So that's through the 3 pillars: WIIFM, choice, and medicine. We're going to explain what each of those are. So for fun, I did a little Google search. I have some family in Richmond, Virginia, and so I Googled IT service, Richmond, Virginia. And in there, here are the top ranking IT websites, right? So you might be thinking, or a lot of people, or these websites are thinking, fantastic. Anybody who looks up an IT service in Richmond, Virginia is already on top of Google. Isn't that fantastic? Well, not so much. Here are the 2 websites, right? Take a look really quickly. We're going to go back to these. Now, can you answer what is wrong with these #1 ranking IT websites? A lot of people think if I can only rank higher on Google, if I can leverage TripAdvisor, if I can somehow get more people to find me when they're looking online. Well, this is the top ranking Google website. Daniel Curryson failed the grunt test. They don't convert. Andrew Walker. Now, here's why they don't convert. Richmond IT, managed IT support, Richmond, Virginia. Well, I found what I was looking for, correct? This thing is filled with distraction. Exactly. They do not convert because there's no possible way that it can. Now, here's the second, which is a little bit better: solving problems, even ones that you didn't know you had. Now, isn't that good? It's a little bit good. They even have a subheadline: we support customers through a continuous 4-step process so we can solve problems and keep their business optimized. Also sounds good, right? Now, there's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of information. Or another way of saying is someone asking, remind me the goal of this page, Jim. In other words, what exactly is the goal of this landing page website? Well, here's what's missing. First pillar is WIIFM. The biggest mistake IT service providers make is speaking about themselves. Again, not your fault. No one ever taught you any differently. You've been growing organically. You became an IT professional because you're a genius and you help with the foundation. You've never been taught marketing and sales, right? Not your fault, but your tribe is listening to this radio station 24/7. WIIFM stands for What's in It for Me. So someone looks on Google for the top ranking website and they're thinking, do I even want to do this? I don't even know what this exactly is. And the design and message is entirely confusing with too many choices, which is pillar number 2, which is choice, which asks, what is the singular purpose of this marketing asset? Is it to convey as much information as possible, or is it to get a lead, right? So this is the goal clearly of this is to squeeze as much information as humanly possible on a small page. Now, this is good. But the problem is it's not specific. Solving problems, even like, let's say you didn't know this was IT, that maybe this was a marketing agency, maybe it was a web design service. Maybe it was whatever it would be. You don't exactly know what problems it's talking about. Now they have a 4-step process, but what are we even talking about? Right? We don't even know. So too many options doesn't convey value. It overwhelms and distracts. It's what's known as the paradox of choice. You think by giving a lot of choices, it's good, but that's not how the human brain works. Human brain likes things nice, simple, and a value to them. What's in it for me? Now here's one that's much better, ranking number 4. This is better because there's a video, but it's also, there's a lot going on, right? The help desk company is here to help. Well, help with what? Help desk company is Richmond, Virginia, based information technology service, working with small businesses. Okay, direct to who they work with. We understand unique challenges and our team can help you make sure your IT is done right. Well, that assumes what? It assumes that I already know what IT does. It's a big assumption. And not to mention, there's a lot of options. Do I want to click our clients? Do I want to schedule an appointment? Do I want to search for them on LinkedIn and YouTube? Are we a good fit? What does that mean? I have live chat. There's a lot of things going on here. By the way, the one thing that was good about that is that it was a picture of a human being. That was a good thing, but it needs to be done strategically. Now, the third principle is medicine. What's the principle of medicine? Now, imagine you have a headache and you ask a doctor for something to relieve your pain. The doctor listens patiently to your little story and says to take 2 of these with a glass of water. Take 2 pills from this bottle with a glass of water. I have a headache. Here's a bottle of medicine. Now, that doesn't really work because why not? Because nobody buys anything generic. We want something specific to our pain. You don't buy medicine for a headache. You buy Excedrin extra strength. You buy extra strength Tylenol specifically for headaches, pain relief. It says pain relief. It doesn't say medicine, right? Now, that is those 3 pillars. WIFM, what's in for me? Having a very simple design so that the human brain can understand and is attracted to it. And number 3, which is having a solution that is specific to their pain. Those are pillars. Now we're going to go much more detailed step by step, but we're starting with some basic pillars and principles. And to sort of supply that with some proof of the value of being tribe-centric, customer-centric, here's a quote from Jeff Bezos, the wealthiest man on planet Earth. Our goal is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. He did not become the wealthiest human being on Earth by accident, and he didn't build Amazon by accident. He did it by being relentlessly customer-centric, which means what's in it for them, keep the choices simple, and make sure that the solution that we're giving them is central to what they're looking for. So here's time to take notes in your worksheet right now. Here's how we're going to get tribe-centric. These are the 4 questions. You'll see this in the worksheet. That was on the thank you page after you registered. Number 1, who's your ideal client? What do they want most? What do they most want? Why do they really want it? And what are their potential objections? We're going to cover each of them. So who is your ideal client? Well, what does that mean? What specific industry are them? Do you focus on specific industries, or are you just going for basically any kind of client? Is there a specific area? Because it makes a difference if you're catering to a specific business or you're just an IT person. Or is there a reason, if you're searching, for example, in Richmond, Virginia, why you should choose one over the other IT service provider? What's their revenue rate? Does it make a difference to you how much money they're making? Does it make a difference if they're struggling financially? Does it make a difference if they're at 10 million? Is a sweet spot for you a certain amount of revenue? Knowing how many employees or endpoints do they have? Is there a sweet spot for you? Can you only service a certain amount of clients? You want to know all these things in advance. What are their characteristics? Who do you like working with? Do you like working with annoying, frustrating, angry people who are short-tempered? Or do you like working with cool people who are happy and easy to work with and really appreciate who you are? Knowing all these things in advance helps you get that. Without knowing that in advance, it's almost impossible to achieve because your brain doesn't even know what to get. Andrew Walker agrees and says, absolutely. Thank you, Andrew Walker. And what do they want, right? What are their specific current problems and challenges, right? What's their medicine? Is it Advil or is it something else? I don't even know the good metaphor in that one. Specific desired results and solutions. What are they looking for results with? Do they just want an IT service because they need an IT service, or do they want better security? Do they want systematized? Do they even know the value of an IT service? Answer, 90% not. Again, we're going to cover that later. Specific fears and what are they worried about? They think you're going to be too expensive. They think you're not going to do anything. They don't know what you do, right? Maurice says they just want the bill, LOL. And what's their 11-star experience? This is a concept I got from none other than, by the way, before I put that, does anybody know who, leave in the comments if you know who that is. I'm just curious. He happens to be, wait 1 second. Looks like he's not a familiar face. This is a young billionaire. His name's Brian Chesky, and Brian Chesky co-founded a company called Airbnb. Now, when he started Airbnb, their question was, what is a 3-star experience, let's say, for an Airbnb guest? Well, you know, they'll get to the home or the apartment, and let's say it's really clean. Then what would be and it's really clear on the instructions. A 4-star experience would be it's really clean, and they got a note on the pillow that says, so happy you're spending time with our family. You know, a 5-star experience is that you already know what kind of coffee they like. A 6-star experience is you also let them use your car. 7-star experience is they can use your iPhone, and you know, you just go up until you hit 11-star experience. You know, you fly them in a helicopter. There's like a rock, one of the most famous celebrities and rock stars greets them, and they have a tattoo on their back of their name. You know, have something exaggerated like that. But the whole point is, what's a potential hypothetical 11-star experience? Because of course, Airbnb isn't giving exactly 11-star experiences, but knowing that in advance helps you be more proactive and strategic. What would be an 11-star experience for your tribe? Knowing that in advance means that you can give them something that will make their, give them goosebumps. They're so excited. And why do they want it? Start with why. What business are you really in? Are you really in the IT service business, or are you really in the simplify the business, getting rid of fear and doubt and worry, streamlining systems business, ease of flow for the business, making it, what business are you really? Because nobody's really interested in the commodity. In the same way, by the way, if you were a hairstylist, are people really into getting a haircut, or people really want to look extremely good? In other words, you want to get to the heart of the issue. What is the why? So there's a Harvard business professor called Gerald Zaltman who says 95% of buying decisions take place unconsciously. Nobody's really thinking too logically. They have a fear, they have a desire, they have a result. They're not even telling you what that is. The reason is because they are not even sure themselves. However, if you understand how to influence them using the strategies that you're learning today, you will be able to get to their unconscious, which is the place that they make the decision. Because most offers are made with logic. In other words, here's what we're going to do, here's how much it costs, and that's it. And that's where the limitation is in terms of leverage of your time, your revenue, and the value in which how the client perceives you. What are their objections? Put yourself in their shoes. What are they already thinking and assuming? Why would they object to your service? Knowing all of this in advance, right? Who they are, what kind of service they are, what kind of business they are, what kind of industry, how much revenue, their characteristics, what they really want, why they really want it, what business you're really in, all their potential objections. All of this, knowing this in advance, makes you exponentially more persuasive, confident, and powerful. Why? Because you know already the outcome that you're after. You know what they're looking for, and you know how to help them, and you're getting what you want. This is a strategic foundation. I would love to hear if this was helpful for you in the comments. If this was basic information that you already knew, I'd love to hear that also. But if this was extremely helpful, I want to know, and I would love to hear that in the comments. And if you, by the way, don't know the answers to any of those questions, just ask your client. Andrew's saying this was helpful. John is saying this is helpful. Really appreciate it. Because sometimes client doesn't see value in the service because Bob from accounting knows a bit about computers. Very helpful, says Kyle, and basic but not mind-blowing. Daniel Curry, thank you. Yes, it shouldn't be mind-blowing, and it actually is basic. We're always getting back to the basics. One of the number of billionaires who I study often say always go back to the basic principles. Thank you, guys. This was very, very good. Mike Greco, how do you focus on your tribe? Exactly by following those questions. Derek Seeger is loving this. All right, guys, we're going to continue. Now, all of this is the foundations It was meat and potatoes. Absolutely, Brian. Very helpful. I knew some already, but had forgotten it. Very good. Now, shouldn't we ask the client ourselves if I assume know what they want? It may be just what I want. Very good. Absolutely, Doug. You absolutely want to get to know your clients. By the way, at Atera, this is a big difference between Atera and most of the other competitors is we really, really, really care about the IT tribe. We really care. We take road shows. We are constantly talking to our customers because I'm not going to, how do I really know what you need and want? But if I really spend time talking to you and getting to know you, I will have a better insight and understanding. So absolutely, Doug, you want to spend time with your clients in a non-marketing or salesy way. You just want to better understand them. It's a great thing. EDM, this is, would it be 95% of business decisions are made subconsciously or not unconsciously? Tim, great question. I do not have an answer. We can ask Gerald Zeltman from Harvard, which he prefers, because it's a quote from him. Step number 2. Okay, so that's the first step. Get to know your tribe. What's in it for them? Be customer-centric. Okay, now you're asking, okay, I know all that, right? Like Simon is saying, very helpful, but I knew that, right? So now that you know all this, how does that mean that you're going to attract clients? That's where step number 2 comes in, education-based marketing. EDM stands for education-based marketing. This is a needle mover. This is extremely useful and extremely powerful, especially for a one-man army, a 3-man army, even a 1 to 10-man army, because it really helps you get what you want in terms of attracting clients. So here's what we're going to cover: why Warren Buffett's business partner raved about this specific method, how education-based marketing turns prospects into clients, how using an ST makes marketing easy, how to use the winning Formula 8 structure, and you're going to get the offline strategy and a simple online strategy. So I'm just taking a glass of water. Steve Minkia, EDM, education-based marketing. EBM, right? I mean, it could be either. It's education-based marketing. The power of this strategy begins with making a fundamental psychological shift from being the bee who chases the honey versus the flower that attracts the bee. This is a fundamental psychological shift. In other words, as long as you're always thinking on chasing, this will be less effective because it's all based on attracting, which you'll learn how to do in a second. Because you're probably asking yourself, how do I do that? How do I go from shifting from chasing to attracting? The answer is education-based marketing. So what is education-based marketing? Well, to start, let's give a little bit of an example. Let's say your goal is to attract 3 clients in 30 days. And let's say I put you in front of an audience of 100 people, which means that you can probably get 3 people to become clients, right? Again, I'm just using really simple numbers here, 3 and 100. So with only 7 minutes to speak. So you got 7 minutes to speak in front of 100 people with your crystal clear goal of getting 3 clients. So and right before I introduce you, I say to the entire 100 people audience, anyone can leave if you're not interested, right? Which means that they're not going to be there guaranteed. They're only going to stay to listen if it's of value. So literally, you've got the opportunity to solve your problem. What do you say? What do you say? Hey guys, I'm an IT service provider. Hey guys, I've helped over. What do you say? What do you do? So this strategy is called the core story method, which quick, someone locked the door. Dustin Berter, very good, man. Quick, someone locked the door. That's what you say. Keep them in there. This is a strategy I got from the Ultimate Sales Machine from Chet Holmes. Now, if you're not familiar, I'm curious, anybody on the webinar who knows and is familiar with Chet Holmes? Chet Holmes, he helped double the sales in 9 different divisions for Warren Buffett's business partner, Charlie Munger, who is also a mega billionaire. 3 years in a row, 9 divisions of an extremely large organization by 9 divisions, 3 years in a row. How do you do that? Now, Charlie Munger, the billionaire business partner of Warren Buffett, says Chet Holmes is America's greatest sales and marketing executive. Chet, by the way, died in 2013. His daughter, who's a friend of mine, Amanda, is running it like an absolute rock star. And the foundation of that is really Chet Holmes, who's this extreme genius. And he said, people will come to you way faster and stay with you way longer to learn something of value than they ever will come to just be sold to. So how did he double the sales? How do you do that? Well, it starts with this foundation of the buyer's pyramid. This is something I talk about at Atera, and that you will find extremely useful. So here's what the buyer's pyramid is. Of the 100 people in any given market, in any given audience, there are 3% who are buying right now. In other words, let's say you had the 100 people in that room, and Dustin locked the door. And so 3% of that room is actually looking for an IT service provider, right? 3%. Now, of that 3%, another 7% are open to it. In other words, they don't exactly have an IT service provider, or let's say they're barely satisfied with their IT service provider, so they're open to it. The next 30% are not thinking about it. They're not thinking about IT. They're just not thinking about it. The other 30% don't think that they're interested. In other words, even if you start talking about IT, they're like, I am not interested in IT. Do not talk about IT. And the final 30% are definitely convinced that they're 100% not interested. Most IT service providers only think here. Now, you're not thinking, I'm going after the market who's buying, but you're doing that almost unintentionally. Most IT services are only going after the people who are buying now, right? So, which is why in that Richmond, Virginia, right? Richmond, Virginia IT. Who's that attractive to? Well, if you're buying right now and you're already, you know a thing or two about IT, then it's almost barely relevant. But it's making that assumption, right? That's the B. That's the chasing. The people who are buying right now. Now, but if you are able to get to the other people, right? That's the big question. So after learning that, I want to hear from you. Do the following IT marketing messages. By the way, I haven't gone through how to attract yet, but we're first talking about chasing. Do the following IT marketing messages chase or attract? I would love to learn in the comments. We're going to try and go through this quickly because we're already halfway through. It's past 12:36. So the first one, right? Well, I have already said definitely chasing. Why? Because it's making a big assumption that they're interested. Now, to get a little bit more specific, here's what's missing. This assumes that the audience is the 3%, which is not leverage even for that company. There's no direct benefit. There are too many visual choices, way too many. It's very confusing, and it's platitudes. It's not conversational. By the way, platitudes, platitudes. Thank you, Derek, for the positive words. I like this presentation. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Platitudes means a phrase or a word that has been used so often that it no longer means anything, versus conversational, which is how human beings talk. So a platitude, an example of this, and these are all literally from that website, I took from that website. We're proud, Richmond, Virginia IT, Richmond IT, proud to deliver the best. We have competitive prices, proven experience, and unbeatable support. It sounds like a 1975 infomercial. You can't talk like that because people don't talk like that. There have been, in 1974, might have been really innovative to say proud to deliver the best, but by this time in human history, that's been used so much, it doesn't mean anything. It's not conversation, it's of no value. Going a little bit deep on that one. Now, explain in step-by-step detail how to craft a message that attracts in a few minutes. Dan says, I feel like a kid by the Christmas tree waiting for how to attract section, LOL. John is saying, how many of us are suddenly looking at our own websites? And Andrew Walker, now I need to reevaluate my website, LOL. Here's the good news, guys, by the way. You don't need to worry about your website. That's what I'm going to cover that in a few minutes, and you'll learn why. In the meantime, grade the messages in the comments below from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Is this a 1 to 10? Hassle-free computer support. This is a guide, by the way. This is a screenshot of a video. I'll give you the website in a second. How to determine how confident your IT service provider. In other words, key differences between managed IT, time and materials reacted by it, what you should expect to pay for it. So this is basically, Andrew's giving it an 8, Andreas is giving it a 1, Tim's giving it a 7. So download this report before hiring an IT consultant. David's giving it a 1. Doug's giving it a 5. James with a 5. Nashville. So this is from NashvilleComputer.com. It actually does attract leads, but as David's saying, it's too much work for the client. There's a lot to read, by the way. In terms of a design, all of those words are in caps. It's hard to read, but it's much better than the Richmond, Virginia, which is assuming something. It's offering something of value. Download this report. It's a guide, hassle-free, right? So it's good. Is it great? Is it the best? Doug says, even sounds like too much work for a tech, LOL. Here's the next one, keeping IT simple. The Small Business Owner's Guide to Finding a Professional, Competent, Honest, fairly priced, and dependable computer consultant. Don't trust your company's critical data and business systems to just anyone's. Read this book to discover. Now, check this out. The 5 types of technical support available and the pros and cons of each. Interesting. Han is saying too much to read. Andrew's giving it a 5. Daniel Curry just had my site redesigned and reconsidering it now. LOL, Daniel. Tim's giving it a 2. Andrew's saying too much to read. Rich is saying too many bullet points, giving it a 3. Getting a lot of low grades here. 5 critical facts you must know before moving to the cloud. How to avoid getting ripped off. Now, if you do busy, right, who said too busy? David Spink is saying too busy. Mike is giving it a 4. Maurice is giving it a 3. David saying too much. So yes, on the one, overall, this is attractive because it's offering something of value. But like you guys are all saying very articulately, it's giving a lot to read. It's a lot to think about. You know, like if I'm hiring an IT service and I need to think about all that, it's already like almost exhausting. Robert, a funnel with a lead magnet is different than the person of a website. Robert, you're a pro, dude. You've been around. Good stuff. Can I offer in decimals? LOL. SiriusIT247.com/book. That's where I got that from. Now, what about this? In terms of a message, 98% of organizations say a single hour of downtime costs over $100,000. Now, this is not a specific offer or, you know, using Robert's excellent use of lead magnet. This is not a specific lead magnet. It's not specifically offering anything, but this specific message is highly attractive. This is something that you want to leverage, right? This kind of information, did you know that 98% of organizations say a single hour of downtime costs over $100,000? Yes, red does make it urgent. We got a few people saying that Andreas is giving it a 10. Very good. Yeah. I also think it's extremely strong. The only, you know, what's lacking here and what I didn't include, obviously, is the whole sort of method and strategy behind it, aside from this specific message. Scott's giving it a 7. So before I introduce the ST to you guys, this has been a lot of fun. You guys were awesome. I really appreciate the engagement. That definitely got the highest by far. Now, before I introduce the ST method with you, to see the easy way of doing marketing that quickly grows your business, and you will see why, let's ask a very simple question. What do most IT and MSPs say they should? By the way, if we're talking about scary words, should is a scary word. Say I should be doing to market their business. And by the way, a number of you have already said it. You know, I need to reconsider my website. Do you? Well, should is terrifying, says Daniel. So here's what most IT and MSPs say that they should be doing. Well, there's, let's see, optimized website, right? More informative blog. I should really have an engaging newsletter. I should do more case studies of clients on my blog. I should have better SEO. I should have Facebook ads. Everybody's doing those these days. I should do retargeting Facebook ads. Andreas is saying I should be using Atera. Walter Jovel, yeah, I should have a salesman, better Google ads and offers. I should be following up with leads. I should have an autoresponder email series, better onboarding, better sales process. I should streamline my marketing and sales. Doug saying all of the above, right? Like someone said, Walter said, right? I should hire a salesperson team. Dustin, I should retire. I should do social media. I should do LinkedIn content. I should do engaging Instagram content, Instagram stories, engaging Facebook posts. If you've heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, he's always talking about this. And you're like, okay, I guess I got to do more content. Engaging Facebook posts, start a podcast, interview clients, partner with local stores, monthly recurring revenue streams, more public speaking, be a better speaker, have an exit strategy to retire. Whoa, this is too much, right? Exactly. Rich is saying all these points are reasons why I don't do marketing. Walter is saying that's how I feel. Argils is saying a bit overwhelming. Yes, because Andrew is saying that's how I feel. So I want to tell you, you can relax, because a lot of top business people are saying you should be doing all of that, but all of that is sort of nonsense, and I'll explain why. James saying that hurt my brain. Not only is there an easy way, but all those steps are for a certain stage of business. Those, in other words, of course you should be, if you're the right kind of business. Simon says, I outsourced it and still got no results. Right? Very interesting, Simon. Those are because there are 4 core phases to any business. In any business, there are 4 core phases. You don't even need to do all of them. You just need to know what they are and where you fit into it and how to optimize and reverse engineer from that, which we can cover, by the way, in another training. Not for now, but most MSPs are thinking about the right thing. Let's just saying doing social media is the right thing, but it might be the wrong time because it's not going to get you the result. For someone like, let's say Tesla, right? You should be doing a lot of social media. Or if you're General Motors or General Electric, yeah, you should be crushing social media. But if you're making under $100,000 a year, there's little reason you should be focusing 7 hours a day on social media, because it doesn't mean you might get likes, you might get leads, but you're not generating sales. And if you're generating under $100,000 a year, that is a first phase of business in which your only responsibility is to generate revenue. So the next time your brain says you should do more, I should redo my website, I should, etc., just listen to these words. To attract IT clients easily, just do an ST. An ST is a signature talk. Now with the signature talk, there's an online method and there's an offline method. A signature talk is a strategic, valuable, and education-based talk. I'm giving it the term talk, right? It's content really, but we'll get to the specifics of it in a few minutes, that turns even cold prospects into clients faster than any other strategy on earth, and here is why. No one wants to be sold to. No one wants to hear someone else talk about themselves. Everyone wants to get or learn something that will add value to them. People will stay and listen if something is of benefit, interesting, and valuable to them. So if you focus on the signature talk, you just 22x your potential audience from 3% to 67%, because now you're addressing people who are open, people who are not thinking, or they don't think that they're interested, and maybe even some of them who are not interested. But you have to have a strategy that's attractive to people who are not even aware of the value of IT. By the way, before I joined Atera, I had little understanding of the world of IT. Now that I do, I'm like, whoa, every single business needs a really good IT person with an ST. Here's how to do it. The only question is, how do you structure your ST, right? Okay, signature talk sort of sounds good, Ari, but how do I structure it? Here's a proven winning structure. Now, this is important. Do this only after you've completed your tribe-centric exercise. Take notes in your worksheet now. I'm going to go a little bit fast because it's already 12:47. We have a few things to cover. Now, here's the winning structure. Here's an example of an ST any MSP can give. You have a headline and how to structure your signature talk in any medium. So here's a headline, right? X ways or steps to solve a specific problem. So an example of that is 5 steps to bulletproof your business from expensive and dangerous cyber attacks, right? Is that a value? Is that attractive to a business owner? It is. It's basically interesting. And if you know exactly who your tribe is, it's going to be interesting to them. Now, here's the Formula 8 ST structure. I'm going to go a little bit quickly, so just make sure you get the main points and take notes. So first is the introduction and the problem. The strategic intro and definition of a problem. So my name is Steve, owner of itpros.com, that helps, let's say, small businesses making under $1 million in Richmond, Virginia, solve their tech problems so that they are no longer prone to cyber attacks and they're 75% more productive, something like that. Because 43%, the sort of trend that I'm going on is around cyber attacks. 43% of all cyber attacks target small businesses. No business owner wants their data stolen, bank account depleted, or customer list breached, right? By introducing yourself, by giving yourself the position and articulating the problem, you've got their attention because you're talking about the problem. You're not talking about your service, you're talking about the problem. Then you go from problem to desired result, and it should be specific. Who here in this audience or anybody reading this report, you want to be bulletproof, secure, and controlled, right? Not in theory, but with the most advanced systems to guarantee your safety, security, and ability to focus on what's really important, like growing your business and serving your customers. So then they're asking, how do I know that this guy's got the results? Well, here's 3 case studies and a testimonial and a stat why I'm qualified to give this. Then you go over a little bit of a story of discovery, how you discover this, which can either be why you started your business or how you discovered a unique security method. By telling a story, most people stay away from this, but the value of a story is having an emotional, almost irrational relationship with your tribe in which they're much more connected with you. And here's the structure. It started off like this. I was 7 years old playing around with a computer. And then I just destroyed my entire house and half the neighborhood. But then I discovered there's a really simple way to keep things really safe and secure. And now I'm on a mission to make sure that and that's what I did. Within minutes, my entire neighborhood and home was secure. No one was ever attacked, whatever, right? I'm making it up. Call to Adventure, Nightmare Discovery, and then your mission and gift. The big mission is I'm here to provide the best security in the world. Because our businesses in Richmond, Virginia are dependent on being secure. And I'm going to make sure that you are secure. Here's how I'm going to do it, right? The story equals a relationship plus deeper engagement. Now at this point, they're bent on the problem. They know the result. They trust you. You've created a bond with them through the story. Now they want to know HOW, how. That's where you give the framework of your solution. This is the core content section. This is where you actually train them on something, right? And the purpose is that they've learned something that helps them in advance of becoming a client. You actually want to help them in advance. Help them achieve the result that they want before they become a client. Now, here's a tip. Always use number content. Formula 8, right? 8 steps, 3 steps. It makes it's easier on the brain. And you might be thinking, well, aren't I giving away my best material, especially if I'm a consultant? No, you're building a deeper bond with your tribe who's soon to be clients, and they're only going to want more because they don't have your brain. Now, here's a 10x tip. I think this question came in from Jeremy. If you're an MSP, you can see the difference in value of your model being an MSP versus a typical model of a regular, typical like IT department in an educational frame, so that they're more open to learning a better model. In other words, if they're already in the signature talk, whether that's online or offline, we'll cover that in a minute. Here's where you can explain the value without it being a sales message, right? You're teaching them, they're learning. And then you cover the big mistake, right? Not quote unquote keeping your doors locked at night. You're not taking care of what you need to because you don't even know how to lock the doors in terms of the metaphor of the cybersecurity. If you leave your doors open, that's on you. Prevention is being proactive about your business and customers, which is seeding hiring you. Security isn't an expense, it's the foundation of every business. True? True. Big myth. Let's debunk the big myth. Thinking you never think it's gonna happen to you, and it's not worth but dudes, it's not worth that risk. Because according to Yahoo News in 2017, US consumers lost almost $20 billion in cyber attacks. Not one of them expected it to happen. They all thought it would happen to someone else. And finally, now that they're sold on all of this, they have been educated. You've created a relationship. They know, like, and trust you. Then you make your irresistible offer. Summarize the main takeaways, give away cybersecurity audits, as sort of like a frame. Or in other words, you can either give an audit to attract a lead, or you can make your offer directly in the talk, right? Benefit, benefit, benefit. Don't give features, only give benefits. And normally this costs X for the next Y people, you gain an audit for free, something like that. And then give a call to action, fill in the form, apply here, call this number. I missed number 3. Derek, it'll be covered in the replay, but Derek, it is to cover the results that you've achieved for your clients. Everybody who applies is an excited, interested, and qualified potential client. Now here's the offline method. You can create a meetup group. Guys, I'm going a little bit fast because it's close to top of the hour and we've just been having almost too much fun here. And I did create a lot of stuff for you. So number 1, a meetup group is fun, it's valuable, and it's community-based. A lot of people don't think about this. Now you can be a guest speaker in another group or you can create your own. So I happened to Google tech groups in Richmond. In other words, people who are already interested one way or another in tech, right? So it might be relevant, for example, cyber attack people. So I guess how many there are within 25 miles of Richmond, Virginia? Well, there are specifically, I counted them, 99 tech meetup groups in Richmond, Virginia. That's thousands of people. Thousands. Yeah, there has to be thousands. If there are 99 tech meetup groups, there has to be thousands. Which means there's a ton of people who are interested, and lots of them probably don't even have IT service providers. It's a huge market, even in one local community. Now, here's a local marketing tip. Being local and emphasizing your love of your area in your messaging is 10 times more attractive to local leads and small businesses because you're part of them. But you have to give a reason, right? There's a reason why Richmond, Virginia is interesting and attractive to you other than living in anywhere else on earth. Now, that is what I call persuasion. It's a really good book. You should definitely get it. In other words, it creates context before you're even making an offer, which is you live in the same place. I'm going quick because we got a lot to cover before the hour ends. Now, there's the online strategy, right? So the offline strategy is using that Formula 8 in literally a live talk for a meetup. You give that talk, you use the Formula 8. The online strategy, and here's a breakthrough. You don't need a fancy website to attract leads. Put another way, what's the purpose of having a website at all? What is the purpose? To attract leads. So how do you attract leads? Well, you only need an online ST. This is the one marketing asset that you need. And there are 5 kinds you can use. There's a video, there's an audio, a report or an ebook, a webinar, or a live one. Those are the 5 online mediums. That's all you need. You can have as much information as you want, but if the only purpose is to attract leads, they'll opt in, meaning they'll enter their email to become a lead in order to get something of value to them. You give that structure of the Formula 8, give an offer at the end, and they're already a qualified lead who's talking to you. That's the strategy. Now, that's literally it. That's the strategy. It's just putting it to work, right, and coming up with your own angle on it, but that's it. Now, here's a little quick summary. Where are they? Well, they're on their email, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, partner. So partner like a restaurant or other local vendors. That's where your tribe is. What do they want? Well, they want the value is the report, the video, the audiobook, the webinar, or the live webcast. They'll become leads to get that. And then finally, client attraction, which is follow up with an irresistible offer, messaging to turn attention into clients. Turn attention, they want that into clients. And that's how the Formula 8 is structured. Now, at this stage, how do your potential clients feel about you? They know, love, and trust you. How are you positioned in their mind? As needing clients and chasing, or highly attractive because you've positioned yourself, you've taught them something, and they're in a problem solution mindset now. They know you can solve the problem for them. And do they see you more as a commodity or as a deeply needed, very unique service tailor-made to help their business grow? Of course, not as a commodity, but a deeply needed, unique service. So let's do a quick recap. You learned why the IT service industry is booming, 10% compound annual growth rate. You learn how to attract more ideal clients by knowing in advance who you want to work with. You learn how to structure your education-based marketing message with the headline and the Formula 8. And you learn a simple offline and online method to generate clients consistently. So right now you might be asking yourself, now that I'm getting the clients, right? So let's say you're getting the clients consistently. Boom, boom, boom. Doing Formula 8s, doing signature talks, doing the meetups. They're opting in for the reports. People are signing up off the door, just going crazy for this. What's the best way to give the best service in the world to my clients without being overworked? Right? That's the big question. Okay, are you telling me all these things, how to get the clients? Now, how do I actually service them without being overworked? How on earth do I do that? In other words, if you're already busy and you learn all this stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get a ton of clients, but how can I service them? How do I structure my offers? Well, here's what's worked for these IT service providers specifically to generate more revenue and to work less. Here's what they used. They used Christoph is saying artificial intelligence. We're almost there. Remote monitoring and management, specifically with Atera. Honestly, moving to Atera is giving us the ability to cut back the amount of people needed and expand the amount of customers. We built a lot of automation and self-service on the customer side and stay away from the home users and customers that require a lot of on-site. By the way, that is actually knowing in advance who you want to work with and who you don't want to. Home users and customers that require a lot of on-site attention. You don't want to work with them. They knew that in advance. Dale says, this program has transformed my business, which is Atera. And this is from lovely, lovely Chuck, who says, you are my secret weapon in my company and have allowed me to scale. I've added over $60,000 in contracts since I switched to Atera, and the support and features keep getting better. Thank you. That's a big deal. And I could go on with a detailed list of the features that I like, but I highly recommend starting a trial and see for yourself how Atera can help you and your company. Doug is saying in the comments, yes, RMM and Webroot made immediate and true results my clients are still talking about. In other words, everything that you learned is around the Formula 8, the ST, all that is around getting the clients. Now then, servicing the clients, the RMM, Atera can help you scale, i.e., not only if you want to like literally scale to a very profitable company, but also service clients without being at the center of it. Chris says Atera has transformed our business. And listen, I could share with you a ton more, but I want to share with you a little video from a few happy customers and clients and good friends of ours.
Atera for us has been something that has just made our life a hell of a lot easier. Love the program, love the product, would recommend it to anyone. The model, pay the technician, makes it really simple and easy for you. Just get on, you onboard your clients, you set it up and off you go. like remoting into a client is just a simple process. We're writing a ticket while we're remoting in and doing everything from the one application. And bottom line, Atera has made life so much simpler and easier for us.
5 years ago, we were struggling to find a solution for our business to make it easier for us to support our clients. One was that the softwares out there were more targeted for larger MSPs and then IT providers and less for the smaller guys like us. What we found with Atera was it was so affordable for us, and at the same time, it had all the features that we needed to support our clients.
So if you didn't hear that, by the way, you're hearing a lot of issues. You will see in the replay. Now, that's the power of leveraging remote monitoring and management on all-in-one platform. Now, here are 10 ways that an RMM streamlines your IT service. We're going to go through this quickly because it's already 1 o'clock Eastern. Proactively helps your clients because you are remotely monitoring and managing what they need. You remotely manage more clients efficiently. It saves you time. Remotely monitor customers' devices. In other words, you don't have to be on site all the time. Onboard technicians to expand your service offering if you desire that. You have real-time alerts, plus you know them before they happen. Identify and automate software update patches. Streamline support with ticketing, right? So you don't have to be going back and forth sweating. Pre-configure administrative and maintenance tasks. Billing and invoicing, and this is a big one, network discovery for scalability. Every IT service wants to give the best service, earn more, work less, and proactively solve problems before they happen, which is why we created Atera. Atera is designed to help you streamline your business and simplify your work. That's what this is all about. Now, here's a quick 2-minute and 30-second overview of Atera. Let me know if you can hear the video. Now, this is by Jan van de Merel, our VP of Customer Success. And then after the video, I'm going to give a really quick, sweet offer. Just go to, but here is the overview.
Welcome to a short overview of Atera's all-in-one solution. It is very easy to deploy Atera. You start with adding a customer. Then you install an agent, and the device is monitored from the moment it is.
All right, I'll tell you why I keep on hearing from everybody that you cannot hear it. So we're going to go, because you can't hear it, I'm going to just go quick passive. In the replay, you will be able to do it. So because you can't hear it, I'm going to go past it, but in the replay, you will be able to hear it. Atera is 100% designed to streamline your IT and MSP business. No annoying contract, no ridiculous onboarding fees, not for $1,000 or $3,500 a month. We created Atera to help you grow. As Maurice says, I love Atera. I heard a lot of comments before of people who really love Atera, which is really appreciated. So if you're not already using Atera, or if you tried it and it wasn't for you, you really should try it out. And here's what you get during your free trial. Use Atera for an all-in-one RMM and PSA, unlimited devices. You have a pay-per-technician model, so if you're the only one, that is a sweet deal. You get automation, you get reporting, you get ticketing, 24/7 support, and no contract or hidden fees. We're here to help you, not to sell you. So start your 30-day free trial right now. Go to atera.com/sign up. And after your trial ends, a pro account is only $79 a month. It's not 10 grand a month. It's not 3 grand a month. It's not $67. It's not $6,000. It's $79 a month, right? And using all the strategies that you learned today, that is how you attract the clients, structure the offer in the right way. Bam, $79 a month. You're sweet and scaling. There's a quick testimonial, and then we're going to do the Q&A. So this is from Donald H. on a verified G2 review. This SaaS app doesn't charge you by how many agents you have deployed, but instead of how many techs you have using the software. If you have 1,000 endpoints that you manage, you would spend anywhere from $600 to $1,000 per month for other RMM tools. On the low side, that's an annual savings of $6,120. That's money you can now use for other tools for better marketing campaigns. Thank you, Donald. All right, dudes. Here's what we're ready for. We're ready for the Q&A time. That's what we're up to. Now, here's what we're doing. Getting a lot of feedback. Really appreciate it. Hardwire says we have been officially formulated. That's LOL. Christian, what limitation do you get with anybody who has specific questions? Well, I'll tell you what. Jan, let's see if we have Jan available. Jan, we're getting a few questions on what the limitation is with $79 a month compared to other tiers. Christopher is saying Atera is awesome. It made my life so much easier. Really appreciate that. Christopher, all right, here we go. Jan, you want to cover that question? Let's see if I can make you present.
What is the question, Ari?
So the question is, what's the limitation of the $79 a month compared to the other tiers?
Well, the other tier is the full tier, let's say that, and the $79 tier, that's a little less limitations. For example, you have 2 concurrent remote sessions, while you have in the growth license unlimited concurrent remote sessions per technician. In the smaller tier, you cannot monitor Mac agents, and you don't have a direct integration with QuickBooks. And one more thing, your scripts are limited to 20 Mbit. A normal day-to-day script is more than enough 20 Mbit, but when you want to deploy software using scripts, then you are running out of the 20 Mbit. It's per script, it's not all the scripts together, by the way. And one more thing, in the growth, you also have the possibility to set up a remote connection from your mobile. That are the limitations.
Awesome. Jan, you're a rock star. Thank you for being there and answering that. That was awesome. Lars is saying we love Atera, great product, but the missing regional adaptation for Denmark is limiting scalability for us. Interesting. Yeah, Alex Milos, very good. For all the details in terms of the pricing, what you get, just go to atera.com/pricing. Thank you, Alex. Let's see here. First of all, it was a really good question from James Staten. Can you unpack not having a site, but having the ability to be found by Google? That's a really interesting question. I wouldn't, well, there's basically, what's the goal of the site? So if you have the goal of the site, it's generating leads, then what's the point of being found by Google? In other words, you can't be found by Google without an SEO optimized website, but what you could have ads that direct offer to a landing page, or like in the meetup, there are people who are already, in other words, what's the purpose of being found by Google? The purpose of is what? So James, it's really unpacking what you're really looking for. What's the goal that you're looking for? So actually, if you tell me more a little bit about what you are looking for specifically, right? Because it's what's the purpose of being found on Google, and what are you really looking for? And I'll do the video here. Let's see. So James, again, it's what's the purpose, right? So you could have a site, but you want to direct the traffic to a landing page, or you can get all the traffic that you need by, in other words, the leads that you want at a relevant meetup. Thomas is saying, thank you for hosting the marketing webinar. You rock. Walter, is a mobile app on the roadmap? Yes, it is. It's coming soon. You'll hear about it. Let's see. Looking for the questions. Let's see. How would you implement, here's one from Andrew. How would you implement the Formula 8 marketing on your website? Here's what I would have. You have the Formula 8 literally as a landing page, right? Talking directly to, and you would know in advance who your tribe is, what they want, what kind of client you're looking for, and go through that Formula 8 on a landing page, meaning just one page. And then you want to make sure that everybody goes there. And at the end, there's an offer. There's an offer either to become a client, but if they're coming from a landing page, you don't really want to sell them on hiring you on the spot, because they're not ready for it. If they are, then they'll follow up with you. You want to have an opt-in for them to get something of value. That could be a free audit, could be a cyber audit. You will know what they're looking for the more that you get to know them. But whatever they most want, you give them their most desired result in that free IO, that free irresistible offer. I hope that answered your question, Andrew. Let's keep on going. Kenneth, I love this question. This comes in a lot. For a video or webinar, what's the recommended length of time for it? 20 minutes? Thanks. Great question, Kenneth. I don't believe in having a good time. That didn't come out right. I absolutely believe in having a good time. I don't believe in there is some magical formula on time, right? If it's the magic secret sauce to a video is 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes. It's really depending on the purpose. If you're doing, it really depends on the purpose. But if you're really trying to attract a local ideal lead, you'd be surprised at how interested they are in the right information at 60 minutes. But you can have something for 10 to 15 minutes that gets the job done. You want to play and test and do what works for you. I have been extremely surprised how long people stay to listen to what is of value to them. And I've been on webinars that I did that were almost 3 hours long, and people kept on staying on because it was of value to them. So my point to you, Kenneth, is don't focus on the time, focus on the value to your clients. The time will take care of itself, because as long as they're getting it a value, they will stay. Alex Milosh, who is our webmaster and overall SEO guru, says one great thing you can do is use Google My Business as a tool to dip your toe in Google with your brand. Great advice, Milosh. Alex, thank you. I'm just going through the questions. I'm here as long as the questions keep on coming in. Rich Lusk, what's up, Rich? How do we get potential customers to watch a video, and those other online ideas you mentioned, what do we use to attract them? Great question, Rich. Now, you could use a direct ad. If you have an email list of people who know about you, know, like, and trust you, you can, or even if they're cold, you can send them to that video. You can also, this is a really cool strategy, is you can sort of mix and match the meetup. You can give an actual presentation, and then at the end, I created a free video that teaches you X, Y, and Z. Go to this website or landing page to watch it right now. Those are some simple ones. So it's a direct ad. It's by having an email list. It's directing them through a live webinar, a live meetup, or one other is a partner or affiliate. So especially if you're a local IT service provider, you have a lot of other businesses who have a lot of your clientele, anywhere from restaurants to golf clubs to batting. I mean, whatever. There are people who have the businesses. So you want to form alliances with, and you basically help give them something that would be of value to them for every client that they refer. So you could put it up in their restaurant. You could put it up in the golf club. You could give a talk at the golf club. You can give a talk at the restaurant, whatever it is. You want to be creative in terms of offering value to other local vendors. I hope that answered your question, Rich. Let's see. Argolis is saying, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I assume all the website tips also apply for the landing pages. Yes. Absolutely. You want to have the best landing page is a headline, content, and some button that takes, a button form or a call to action button or whatever, right? Headline, content, could be written, could be video, could be audio, and then the call to action button. Really simple. And again, there's a lot of ways to optimize and grow. There's no end to that. But that's the simple model that has definitely worked wonders. Going through the questions. All right, first of all, I want to give kudos to Dragos for answering a lot of the support-related questions in the chat. So thank you, Dragos, who's been crushing it. Reading the questions. Yeah, do you have some examples of pricing models per computer, per user, per feature? Okay, so here's one thing, everybody who's still on, which is a lot of people. I've been getting emails and I've been getting messages specifically about pricing models or different ways to structure your offer. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a follow-up training video based on that question and send it to everybody who registered for the webinar. And you will get that follow-up training video. Let's see. Yeah, Rich Lusk has asked about the File Explorer. By the way, Rich, I brought that to our team, and someone is actually going to follow up and be in touch with you. But let's see. Jan, are you able to answer a question around the File Explorer feature? If no, when is it going to be available? When is it going to be available? I did bring
Well,
it. Yeah.
to be honest, I have to ask that myself to our head of development. I don't have an ETA at the moment. Sorry.
Great answer. So that's the answer, Rich. It's on its way. Let's see. Andrew Walker, this is my territory. Here we go. What platform would you recommend building your landing page? WordPress, ClickFunnels, lead pages, etc. Andrew, great question. You want to simplify it. If you can use WordPress and code a little bit, use WordPress. Lead pages has a lower price. ClickFunnels is a little bit more expensive. Lead pages is a little bit simpler to use, a little bit easier to use, a little bit more intuitive, less heavy on the marketing tech side. ClickFunnels is a lot more advanced in my experience and humble opinion, and more expensive. So if you, I really think if you're starting out on the online marketing thing, lead pages will cover all of your needs. Lead pages and MailChimp would be great. And by the way, you don't, if you want to invest the money, I'm not sure the lowest price on lead pages, but I mean, you could also just have one of those free landing pages and then just test if it works. You'd be surprised, but if you want to invest the money, and it's not that much, lead pages is definitely better for starters and ClickFunnels is more advanced. Kenneth, thank you. This is so great. Kyle, thank you for this EDM. Kyle, you rock. People are saying thanks to Dragos, rock and roll. Anthony, will this webinar be available to be downloaded? It will be sent out. I'm not sure if it can be downloaded. Let's see. Some people need to bounce, but thank you. This was crazy helpful and great info. Thank you, James. Walter, what do you think of cartoon animation for main website page? Sure. In other words, here's something that I've said for years. It's not about the medium, it's about the message. So you could have a direct to camera, you can have an audio, you can have an animated cartoon video, you can have anything. It could be the written word. It's the message that is most valuable to your tribe. It's not the medium. No one really cares. It's more of in terms of your preference. Now you can do tests up the wazoo if a cartoon animation where it converts better than a direct to camera than an audio, but man, why do you want to mess around in that territory when you just want to get a client? You can have a really simple message. If you're great on camera, put your iPhone on, memorize the Formula 8, do that, put it up on your landing page. You're done. You're not familiar, you're not comfortable on camera, write it down, put it on that landing page and send your tribe there. Let's see, Christoph. Loving that, by the way, there are 50 more messages that I'm not even getting to. So we'll see how much we can get to, but as long as you guys are here, I'm going to stay on, let's say at least for the next 15 minutes. But if we have to stay on literally 24, if we have to do this 24/7, we might just be able to do it. Christoph is asking, what's your opinion on giving away freebies, physical or digital? Christoph, well, my opinion is what works better for you. Because if you give away a physical product, it's a little bit on the expensive, it's a little bit more involved in terms of shipping, in terms of, I mean, God knows what. Digital is really easy. It's really easy in my experience, and I'm no techie. So it's easier to give away something digital. It's a little bit less valuable. It definitely have less perceived value, but if you give something physical, there's a lot more associated value. It's if you're able to put in the time and energy. And what you really want to do in terms of giving a physical product away is making sure that you have at least a break-even funnel. So if you're going to be spending a penny on a physical product, for that to be mailed out as like a lead magnet or in terms of a freebie, you want to make sure that one way or another, you got your bases covered. So for example, you could have them pay for shipping. So if you know that the cost to get the physical product, let's say is $3, you can have everyone pay a $7 shipping fee or a $4 shipping fee or something along those lines. People are happy to do free shipping. It makes sense. People do the free, I don't want to get too advanced on this, but there's a free book funnel in which people just pay for shipping, and it's $7. So everyone happy to pay $7 for a book that's perceived to be at least $18. but you want to make sure that you have those processes integrated because, again, simply digital, more advanced, physical, definitely more value, but you want to make sure that you have a system in place to have an ROI positive or at least break even. Yes, Steve Morris. Steve Morris, how do most IT pros price their service per PC? And give me an idea of the prices per PC. I have no idea. Love that, Steven. That's going to happen in the follow-up video. Well, that's good. Argala says, do you guys have a sample general video for a managed IT or IT support company that we can view? We'd like to create one, but would like to invest in the most impactful one that we can place on landing pages and main website. I'll tell you what I have not come across is absolute killer marketing from an IT company. But again, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Most likely exists. I just haven't come across it. Also, I'm extremely critical when it comes to marketing and messaging. So if you want to create something, definitely start with the Formula 8. I don't have any specific examples to show you, but if you guys have something to show me in which you've been like, man, Ari's got to see this. This is like some crazy, awesome IT marketing message. Send it my way, and I'd be happy to share it with the tribe. Dan Marrero is asking, what do you think about pop-ups trying to have a visitor input their email details to join newsletters, annoying or powerful? Dan, here's what I think. Are pop-ups annoying? Well, you'd be surprised at how well they convert. So they're only annoying if people think they're, I don't think they're annoying. I think they're extremely powerful if they're positioned in the right way. If they're constantly popping up, it's a little bit annoying. If the message is not aligned and of no value, it's annoying. If it's an aligned message that only pops up sequentially, it won't be annoying. And by the way, you don't really want to get to join newsletters. You want to have something more attractive. You want to give the benefits. Nobody wants another newsletter, but people do want valuable information. So you need to convey the value of that information. You want to present the value of the newsletter. What you want to be thinking about is the structure and the strategy of the newsletter before you're thinking about the pop-ups. Assuming that you've got the newsletter strategy down pat, and you're using social proof, you're creating authority, you're using likability, it has a simple sequence, it's structured and well designed and consistent, then the question is, what is the most valuable thing about that newsletter? How does it help solve the number one desired result for your potential tribe? Then offer that in terms of the headline, and they'll opt in, and that will be powerful and not annoying because it's a value to them. Let's see. Thank you, Jan and Dragos, for staying on. You guys are being so incredible and awesome. 80 new messages, man. I still have 80 messages to read. You guys are rocking and rolling. John is asking, will you be adding a locally based patch queue option for Atera agents versus having each PC going out to the web for updates? Jan, are you able to speak to that point? John asks, will you be adding a locally based patch queue option for Atera agents versus having each PC going out to the web for updates?
Well, not every PC is going out to the internet. So one of the PCs is getting the patches, and from the other PCs are taking the patches from there. So awesome. That is already working more or less like that.
Thank you. You're awesome, Jan. I appreciate you being here and helping out the tribe. John, that's the answer. You heard it from the source. Charles asks, is your marketing methods available on the Atera website? You covered more than I can remember long-term. Not yet, but we will be coming out with more and more. This is actually the very first webinar growth training, and we're going to be covering and creating a lot more. Kenneth Hunt, would case studies from other sources also be effective in the Formula 8? Yes. Case studies are always effective. Social proof, you always want to be using and leveraging social proof. Case studies, testimonials, statistics. Kenneth, case studies, always. So you just almost, and the way that I would say to cover the case studies is you want to sprinkle them in. You articulate the problem, you give a case study to someone who's suffering that problem. You give the result, here's how you help them achieve the result. In the framework of the solution, by the way, answering Jeremy's question about conveying the value of an MSP versus an IT department, that's the perfect time when you're talking about the framework of your solution and the unique value of your MSP model versus the internal IT. That's the perfect time to offer a case study, at least 3. Eric Dollison will be able to add mobile devices, lock and wipe them. Will we be able to add mobile devices, lock and wipe them? Jan, you know that? Will we be able to add mobile devices?
Yeah, I can answer that questions about MDM. Well, we are talking about it internally. There are no decisions made about it at the moment when we will have it. So it is not for the short term, definitely not for this year.
Thank you, Jan. Paulo is asking, what are your thoughts on doing a series of videos and post the audio on a podcast too? I think that's the way to go. If you're able to produce all that content. Again, 1 second. What's the goal? You want to get to the goal. So these are already from 10 minutes ago. So wow, there's getting a lot of thank yous. Thank you for this excellent webinar using caps to get your attention. Thank you, Christoph. Really appreciate that. Argelis, thank you guys. Useful information. Both my marketing manager and myself will be implementing some of this. Let's see. Just a lot to go through. So guys, please understand that there's a lot of these questions coming up. Let's see. Rich Lusk says Atera is the best. Thank you for being personal and helpful to us one-man show businesses. You are welcome, Rich. We are here for you. Yeah, Eric, we actually did answer your question, so I'm actually happy that we got to it. All right, I'm actually going to get to this from Scott Hoffman. Monthly reports that show what is being done for the client behind the scenes helps to. Okay, this is from Scott Hoffman. Guys, we got 4 minutes left. We're going to end at the at 1:30 Eastern. 4 minutes. Monthly reports that show what is being done for the client behind the scenes helps to retain the client, and using these reports to help sell new customers are invaluable. I would ask that the reporting of what we are doing behind the scenes, lists of all patches, updates, installations, uninstallations, updates, cleanup, etc., in one nice report per device would be a fantastic tool to help build businesses. Scott, really appreciate that. That is very useful. Thank you. All right, let's see. Yeah, totally agree, Kim Lindsay is asking, what's the best way to offer a free audit? The best way to offer a free audit is to structure it in this way. We'll finish it with this. It is amazing that we have almost 120 people still on after almost an hour and a half. You guys are rocking and rolling. So to answer Kim Lindsay's, what's the best way to offer a free audit? Number 1, you position the perceived value of it. So I'm going to use the metaphor of a cyber audit. So everybody wants to get their, by the way, that's a great strategy, using everyone wants, right? Everyone in Richmond, every small business in Richmond, right? Everyone, it's a great strategy. Everyone wants to get a free audit. Everybody, well, put it another way. Everybody wants to know the vulnerabilities, the online vulnerabilities of their business. How vulnerable are you? Well, are you actually prone to a cyber attack this week, this month? How big? How does anybody know? Do you as a business owner know that? Well, knowing that is actually valued at $100,000 an hour. Now that might sound a little bit exaggerated, but according to that statistic, 1 hour of downtime, if you are attacked, it's $100,000 of value an hour. Now again, I'm just off the top of my head here. You might want to say $10,000, but that is that statistic. Probably for a certain level of business, because if you're making 10 grand a month, there's no way it's worth $100,000. Anyways, right? Everybody wants, so perceived value, and then the cost, right? The value is knowing that. How do you know that? Well, the value of knowing that is what I can provide. So you want to do perceived value, then you want to go higher perceived value, right? That's the $100,000 per hour. Then you want to go the ease. So now, by the way, I can answer that for you by spending 20 minutes inside of your business, or by downloading an agent onto your server, or whatever, however you position it. Ease of use, urgency. Because I'm a one-man army, I can only offer this to 5 people a week. so that there's some level of urgency. So perceived value, increase the high perceived value, ease of use, urgency, and then a very specific call to action. So if anybody wants, so now I'm giving away that free audit, the free cyber audit. If anybody's interested, again, I can only do 5 a week. Please fill in the form below. Please opt in, send me an email, whatever it is, right? That's the call to action. Perceived value, high perceived value, ease of use, urgency, call to action. Boom, Kim Lindsay, that's how it's done. Simon, we're going to finish with your comment. Ari, this has been great. Thanks for the presentation and your energy. I'm off to form you late, my Formula 8. LOL. Rock and roll, dudes. Thank you. We still have, let's see, I just want to say personally goodbye. Over 115 people. You guys are absolutely an hour and a half. All right, Lars, there's a lot of questions. I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do, because there's also a lot of support-related questions. If you have support-related questions about Atera, about Splashtop, about Webroot, about mobile apps, about network discovery, email support@atera.com. Or, Jan, who are the people who should email you if you're already on? Who are the people who should be in touch with you?
Well, I always say if you have really technical, in-depth questions, please go to support@atera.com or use the live chat. That's even better. And if there are any other questions, more organizational questions, just come to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, I want to say thank you so much. This has been extremely energizing, positive. Thank you so much for all the incredible, incredible feedback that has just been streaming like a river of awesomeness. We're going to bid adieu. We're going to see you soon. Rock and roll. Lots of love. Ryan, really helpful. These are Ryan's asking about the, and I really could keep on going. These Post-it notes. What are the Post-it notes? They're how the tech team, the engineers, way beyond my brain, organize the things that are going on. You are good. Thank you. Raju, you are good. Rock and roll. LOL. Lots of love. Guys, I'm saying goodbye. Good night. Wherever you are, you will be sent out the recording, and I will also be following up with that follow-up training on the presenting your offer. And lots of love from Atera HQ.